Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Hammer. Today is Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. I, of course, am here with your daily mortgage rate update, the only place on the web where you can get together at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time every weekday morning, and we talk about what's going on with rates and pricing, even when there's probably not much going on with rates and pricing. Coming to you from Tennessee today. Yesterday, had a nice ride through Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois for like 12 seconds, which in my opinion is probably the most amount of time I need to spend in Illinois, one of the worst states I've ever ridden in, and Kentucky and Tennessee. So the Illinois story, I drove from Missouri over to Illinois over the Mississippi River, and then almost immediately took a bridge over the Ohio River, which takes you from Illinois into Kentucky. So it was a great ride yesterday, though. I'm having a great time. Today is my last day. I will be home tonight. Very excited to see my lovely wife. And otherwise, I've had a great trip again out for Vetted VA. I always come out on my motorcycle. It's a great ride. So remember, you can join me live each and every weekday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. If you're watching the replay, don't forget, give me a hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know that you were here. Let Facebook and YouTube know that you were here. If you're on Facebook, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Tag an originator friend. If you're on YouTube, give that thumbs up, subscribe. You guys know how that works. Also, your comments help with my engagement. So help me help you get more people watching the show. I would love to get over 100 people live every day. In fact, I've said this like 30 times. I never follow through. We're going to be launching the Rate Sensei brand soon, though, and that will include kind of maybe taking this to that next level for getting some stuff. So if you get our text alerts, those are going to be under the Rate Sensei umbrella. A lot of people know me and think that my company is Originator Success. My company is actually Hammer Solutions. Originator Success is one of our products, though. So anyway, speaking of text, if you would like to get a text reminder that I'm going live so you know when to hop on and, just because the days can get away from you, go ahead and sign up at hmmr.io/reminder or use this cool QR code. If you're on your phone right now, take a screenshot. You can go to your photos and QR codes work in your photos. What? Yes. Isn't that cool? I think it's cool. I think it's really cool. So go ahead and check us out there. Also, remember, you can sign up for our written daily Lock Advice emails, www.ratelockadvice.com. And feel free to lift any of the content from that. Use it with anything that works for you. Anything you can share it out there that's going to help your business. You have my blessing. You don't have to give me credit. Go ahead and use it. And if you want text alerts about the market, check us out at ratetextalerts.com or one more cool QR code over here. $7 a month. We send out alerts. Listen, we've got over 1,000 people on it, and everybody always tells me how great they are. So they can't all be lying. I mean, that's just my take. So anyway, good morning, y'all. Another day without the cowboy hat. It's on the bike, so I gave you the biker thing. Look at these raccoon eyes. You got to wear your safety glasses, but man, I don't know. Anyone have any advice? Like, what do y'all do for tan lines? I'm not doing the Trump orange skin thing. I'm not trying fake tanner. There's bags under my eyes. This is what it shows. So good morning, Ron Siegel. Today is National Hammock Day. National Hammock Day. Yeah, I got the raccoon eyes. I don't know what to tell you. So they are what they are. So, all right. Today we're going to talk about, there's really not much going on. We're going to talk about what Powell's going to be talking about. We're going to talk about a quick thing on the Fed rate cuts and a TikTok that I saw that just kind of blows my mind. You say sunscreen, but I'm wearing sunscreen, but I'm in the sun for like 10 hours a day, every day. This is sunglasses, obviously blocking the sun. This is with sunscreen. This is with both chemical and mineral sunscreen. So notice that the nose is not bright red. And that's one of the things, because I'm really trying. So anyway, all right, let's get to the good stuff, y'all. And hello to everybody. Good morning, Mike Tebow, Bobby Searson, Julie Lawrence, Nicole Semerad, Amanda Collins. I do reapply. Y'all, this is tan, not burnt. Do you know how burnt I would be? I don't know if I got any pink left. how burnt I would be if I don't put sunscreen on. Um, but believe it or not, actually, anyway, let's get to the good stuff. Let's get to all this. So, good morning, y'all. Thank you for joining me. I notice I have a lot of you on, so let's go ahead. Quick recap. Let's go over what happened yesterday. Bonds lost a little bit of ground late in the day. Let me go ahead and show you the screen, and we'll get on to that stuff. So, right here, you can see mortgage bonds yesterday. Pricing comes out right about here, and we lost a little bit of ground late in the day. Not terrible though. And then if you look at where we're at today, we're just a hair under where we were yesterday. So you know what that means. That means that rate sheets today are going to be about the same as yesterday, maybe an itty bitty bit worse. That is a very technical measurement, itty bitty, an itty bitty bit worse. Take a look over here at the Japanese candlesticks. We're going to look at those together. Again, we had really, at the end of June, we had this nice uptick. And remember, when mortgage bonds go up, that makes us smile because that gives us better rate sheet pricing. When rate sheets go down, that gives us a frown because this right here, all of this is worse, right? This was that downward trend that we got through the first part of July. And we kind of hit a floor right here, which is nice. And then we bounced back up. Now, today we're just kind of flat right here. We do technically, you could see here this blue line. That is the 25-day moving average. Hold on. Let me zoom in on this. Look at this. Come on. I was doing it before. Does it not work when I do this now? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So you can take a look right here, this blue line. Technically, that would act as technical resistance. We want to see mortgage-backed securities go above that line to make us smile. It's the 25-day moving average. It's not really a heavy technical, in my opinion. We do have support. This is the 100-day moving average, the green line. Purple line is the 200-day moving average. Down here is the 50-day moving average. But you can see we bounced below these, bounced back above them. They're not a tremendous support or resistance level right now, but it is giving us some. Over here at the 10-year Treasury yield, we are at 4.361, just a little bit better than yesterday by about a basis point. So really, I mean, we're in a pretty good spot here. Rate sheets are going to be about the same today. Reprice risk on the day is low. We're expecting another boring day. So Powell is going to be speaking today, but he's going to be talking about banking regulation. Remember, the Fed has a blackout period 10 days, about 10 days before the Fed meeting. It's the Saturday before the Saturday. Friday at 12 midnight, they're not allowed to talk about monetary policy. Now, they can be out there talking. They usually don't, but they can be out there talking. Powell will be out there today. He'll be talking again about banking regulation. He will not go near monetary policy. He's a rule follower. He will not go near monetary policy. Now, markets are still looking at that, though. They're curious to see if he addresses any of the drama between the Trump administration calling for his resignation and all of the drama there. By the way, in case you didn't know my feelings on this, Bill Pulte is right up there with Elizabeth Warren in my mind. Bill Pulte is an imbecile. He's an absolute imbecile. Elizabeth Warren has a lot of other names. I have no respect for her. I think she's a pandering, terrible person. And Bill Pulte, I think is an imbecile. Just an utter, and Google it. He's an imbecile. I do, however, like Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent. I think he's doing a great job. So, but I think FHFA director Bill Pulte, I think he was like a favor. I think he's, Pulte was the big family home. And apparently, if you do a little bit of digging, even the family doesn't like this guy. And I think that like Trump owed somebody a favor, and that's why Pulte has a job. I really do. I think the guy's an idiot. Imbecile. We're going to stick with imbecile. So if anyone has any feelings different than that, I would love to hear them. So, because anything I've seen this guy say, and if you tell me it's because he's put out there that Fannie and Freddie can now take the Vantage score, which started back in like 2019, I think that they started trying to get that to happen, and still not, he put out a tweet about it. Give me a break. Anyway, the outlook for this week, rates rates are just drifting, right? We're going to see rates that are very stable. Bonds are just drifting. Repairs risk on the day is low today. It's not like we see much happen, through this whole time we're there. Now, I do want to, however, talk about these Fed rate cuts. And this kind of ties in with the idea of Powell being fired and somebody else replacing him. And one of the things I wanted to show you was this TikTok. Now, I'm not throwing shade, but we got to kind of call this out for what it is, right? And if anyone knows Chelsea, I would love to have the opportunity to explain to Chelsea why I used this for an example and why I don't like this. Now, I don't know Chelsea. For those of you that don't know, this is Chelsea Winston. By the way, when I do this, it's backwards on my screen. Can you guys read it, or is it backwards on your screen? Just curious. Where is my turn off the center stage? That'll stop wigging it out. Okay. All right, there you go. So let me know if you all know Chelsea. I'm curious about that. So what she wrote here, though, the timeline you reading backwards for me is tough. Should follow on buying a home if you want to capitalize on the projected Fed mortgage interest rate drops in September. Okay. Is it backwards for y'all? I wonder if I could flip this around. I don't know how to flip it around. So anyway, she's got 789 hearts on this, 789 likes on this, right? And 7.125. And she's got 54 comments. 249 people have bookmarked this, including me. So there's 248 other people that have bookmarked this. Moving it too much for you to read and making everyone dizzy. Yeah, I wonder how to flip this around. I guess, hold on a minute. Let me see something. I think you can do mirror view. Let me see if I can do video mirror camera. Let me turn that off. Okay. All right. There we go. Now we can actually see it. The timeline you should follow on buying a home if you want to capitalize on the projected Fed mortgage interest rate drops. And listen to what she says.
5% depending on loan amount, down payment, credit score.
Hold on, let me back it up a little bit.
Anywhere between like 6.75.
Hold on.
Percent all the way up to 7.125. There is a 50 to 60% chance that the Fed is going to deliver a 25 basis point cut in September. What that actually looks like when you see that 25 BPS, what that means is 0.25%. Okay, so like right now, the average interest rate, like overall, is anywhere between like 6.75% all the way up to 7.125%, depending on loan amount, down payment, credit score, all of those things. The 0.25 drop would be 0.25 percentage points. So let's say today, if you were given an estimate and your rate was 7%, what you would see in September is that it would be 6.75%.
So, I'm going to be sick. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. It does not. Now, again, I don't want to get mad at Chelsea. And she's obviously got people paying attention, though. This is why the internet and social media can be a beautiful thing or a terrible thing, okay? The Fed rate cuts are not going to see mortgage rates go down. Granted, projection of Fed cuts does help mortgage rates improve a little bit, but it's not a dollar for dollar. Quarter point cut doesn't mean a quarter point drop in rates. Again, I come with receipts. Go look at what rates were at September of last year. The Fed funds rate down a point since then. Mortgage rates are higher. Why? Because of what surrounds all of that. The Fed fund rate cut is going to influence short-term interest rates. Mortgage rates are long-term rates based on long-term bonds. What will happen is they're going to go off of inflation. The reason that the Fed rate cuts have been going along with where mortgage rates have been is because of inflation. The idea if the Fed is cutting rates, that inflation is going down. That was the anticipation. That is a lot of why we're seeing what we see. Yes, there is a little bit of spillover. When you see rate hikes, rates go up. When you see rates go down, they go down. However, the Fed manipulated mortgage rates more with quantitative easing and quantitative tightening than they did with raising or lowering the Fed funds rate. Quantitative easing was the buying of treasuries and mortgage-backed securities. Quantitative tightening has been the selling off of treasuries and mortgage-backed securities. Stuff like this, not good, not good, not right, misleading, confusing. What the hell? Yeah, Candido said it. This is why we can't have nice things. So I need all of you out there saying the right things so that people don't see all of this with the wrong things. All right. Remember, if you need help with your social media so you can be getting business, again, Chelsea is out there on social, and I applaud that, but not with misinformation. If you need help with good information, check out Grab and Go Social product. It's run by Austin Sierra on my team, and it is about helping you to build your brand and get more business from social media. Austin is one of the best in the game. What's awesome is Austin is not a mortgage guy. He's a social media guy. So anyway, check it out. If you're not a member, we've got that $7 intro program still going on. When I get back, we're going to be rolling out big time. But anyway, check it out, grabandgosocial.com, or use the cool QR code over here to get signed up. It's $7. Give it a try. Don't be like Chelsea. Don't be spreading misinformation like this. So, Hammer, I submit September was an anomaly in the last cut. Historically, Fed cuts do coincide with mortgage rate drops. Assume they never drop dollar for dollar. The market also anticipates rate drops, so the drops happen before the Fed moves. Exactly, and I agree, Ron, but I stand by my statement. The reason that we see long-term rates drop is because it leads to similar conditions that support it. When the Fed is cutting rates, it's because labor market weakness, economic weakness, and inflation has dropped. The Fed's mandate is to maintain price stability and maximize employment. So that's why we kind of see that. But just coming out there and saying a Fed rate cut and mortgage rates are going to go down a quarter point, So put that picture back on the screen for a second with the Grab and Go Social one or Chelsea's. Which one do you want? I don't know which one you want, so I'm putting both there. So there's Chelsea. And again, I'm not throwing shade at Chelsea, but this is bad stuff. Okay, there you go. Hold on, let me get rid of the Grab and Go Social thing then so you can get a screenshot. I can send you this thing so you can get it too. You can actually, I don't know how to do that. Hold on, I'm going to share it. I'll share it, and I'm going to messenger it to you, Ron. So I'm messengering it to you, Ron. So Ron Siegel sent. There you go. I just sent it to you, dude. So there you are. So hopefully that will go through and you can use it. So anyway, that's it, y'all. I got to get on the road. I am just having too much fun. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate all of you and the fact that you do join me each and every day, even when we don't have much to talk about. And again, Chelsea, if you see this, I applaud you for being out there and generating business. I just want to correct that little piece because that is wrong. Now, I didn't watch the entire thing, and if she changes something later, but I watched most of it, and when I heard that part, I was pretty much there. So she's had her license for 6 months. Sean, dude, sometimes it happens, man. Go through and take a look at her stuff. Candido, I will fire it off to you as well. Hold on. Candido Diaz. All right, dude. Candido Diaz sent to you. So, all right, my friends, I am off on the road. Appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow from my office, and maybe I'll have something more interesting for you to talk about, right? So, all right, everybody, have a fantastic day, my friends, and thank you again for joining me. Bye-bye.